The Retro Football League presents The Extra Point. Powered by Wolverine Studios Draft Day Sports Pro Football. It's time to take the field. What are you bringing to the table? And now, for our host, Lance McAllister.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of The Extra Point. I'm your host, Lance McAllister, and we've got a pair of wildcard playoff matchups that promise to bring us some hard-hitting action and edge-of-your-seat drama. Let's dive right in and break down these two clashes. Let's start with the NFC wildcard clash between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. Now, this matchup is a real David versus Goliath scenario. The Giants squeaked into the playoffs with a 9-7 record, causing quite a stir due to an ambiguous selection process after a heart-wrenching loss to the Eagles in Week 16. On the other hand, the Lions come in hot with an 11-5 record. Let's take a look at the team comparisons to see how these two stack up. In terms of offensive firepower, the Lions have the edge, outscoring the Giants with 407 points scored to the Giants' 335. However, the Giants have a tenacious defense that has only allowed 308 points, compared to the Lions' 389. The Giants' passing game, led by wide receiver Gene Washington, has been a standout with 1,079 receiving yards, tops in the league. The Lions, though, boast Horace King as their star running back with 1,652 yards on the ground. And speaking of stars, the defensive leaders are making their presence felt on both sides. Linebacker Willie Hall and cornerback Dick Joran have been pivotal for the Lions, while Harry Carson and Ray Rhodes have been leading the charge for the Giants. But injuries could play a big role here. The Lions are missing key players like J.C. Wilson, Mike Wilson, and Dexter Bussey, while the Giants are nursing Roger Carr's sprained ankle. Intriguingly, Detroit's King is nursing a scratched cornea, but it looks like he's still expected to make an appearance. On the flip side, the Giants' John Hicks might be playing despite a bruised jaw. It's all hands on deck for these teams as they battle for a chance to advance in the playoffs. Shifting gears to the AFC wildcard matchup, we have the Cleveland Browns facing off against the Houston Oilers. These two teams have history this season, having split their regular season meetings. The Oilers fell 24-31 in Cleveland during Week 5, and then in Week 10, they turned the tables with a 20-17 victory on their home turf. The Oilers come in as the favorites with a 12-4 record, boasting an impressive offensive powerhouse that has put up 456 points, fourth in the league. Their quarterback Dan Pastorini leads the league in passing yards, and Don Hardman and Ken Burrow have been reliable playmakers. However, Cleveland's defense, allowing only 296 points, is no pushover. They're led by Joe Jones, who's been a sack machine with 10 to his name. The Browns, at 10-6, have secured their first postseason appearance, and they're banking on running back Greg Pruitt to lead the way on the ground. But Houston's defensive leader, linebacker Willie Lanier, is having none of it. He's at the top in tackles and sacks. Injuries could be a wild card in this matchup, as Houston's roster is dealing with several nicks and bruises. Jim Bieran's sprained wrist and Robert Brazil's broken cheekbone are notable concerns. Cleveland's Clarence Scott and Ricky Feature are also nursing injuries but are likely to suit up. It's a classic underdog story for the Browns, who are facing a formidable Oilers team. The question is, can Cleveland capitalize on Houston's injuries and make a splash in their first playoff appearance? Fans, get ready for a wild ride as these teams battle it out for a spot in the next round of the playoffs. And there you have it, folks, a preview of our wildcard matchups. The tension is high, the stakes are higher, and the excitement is palpable. So grab your snacks and settle in, because these games are sure to be wild rides. Until kickoff, I'm Lance McAllister, and this has been The Extra Point. Enjoy the games, everyone.